When did someone who treated you like garbage suddenly need your help? My stepfamily banned me from helping with Thanksgiving dinner because my knife skills were apparently too pathetic to trust around food. My stepmother stood at the marble island demonstrating proper carving technique while I sat on a bar stool in the corner, watching like a punished child. Maybe if you spent less time pretending to study and more time learning basic life skills, you wouldn't be such a disappointment, my stepbrother said while grabbing another beer from the fridge. My stepsister laughed from where she was julienning vegetables at professional speeds. Watch carefully because you need steady hands and confidence to work in a kitchen, my stepmother said, holding the electric carving knife like she was teaching a masterclass. She glanced at me with that familiar look of disgust she'd perfected over 13 years since marrying my father. Not everyone has what it takes to handle sharp instruments under pressure, which is why some people shouldn't touch anything more dangerous than a butter knife. My father never looked up from his newspaper when they started these sessions. I'd stopped trying to tell them about my actual job 2 years ago when my stepmother told her book club friends that I was failing community college while pretending to be in medical school. The electric knife hummed as she carved the turkey breast with theatrical precision. See how I maintain complete control without any hesitation or trembling? Unlike some people who shake just spreading peanut butter, she said, staring directly at my perfectly still hands. My stepbrother snorted from behind me where he was stealing stuffing. Remember when she took 30 minutes to peel 5 potatoes because she held the peeler like it might explode? They all laughed at that story, which had grown more exaggerated every year since I was 15. My stepmother launched into her favorite routine about my complete incompetence in the kitchen while gesturing wildly with the still running electric knife. Absolutely no confidence whatsoever, which is exactly why she's not allowed near food preparation in this house. During one of her dramatic gestures, the electric knife slipped and caught her left wrist at exactly the wrong angle, going deep enough that I saw the telltale arterial pulsing before she even registered what happened. Her scream came a second later as the knife clattered onto the marble. "Nobody move," I commanded, and even my stepbrother froze at my tone. I was already applying direct pressure with kitchen towels while examining the wound. "Call 911 and tell them we have a partial radial artery laceration with heavy bleeding," I told my stepsister, who stood frozen staring at her mother's wrist. "Do it now," I barked, and she fumbled for her phone. "Get the turkey lacing from that drawer and the vodka from the freezer immediately," I ordered my stepbrother, who actually listened without arguing. My father finally looked up as I directed my stepbrother to sterilize the lacing and my hands with vodka. "The laceration is too deep for just pressure and paramedics are 15 minutes out on Thanksgiving," I explained while threading lacing through a serving fork to create a makeshift suture. Without partial closure, she could lose consciousness from blood loss before they arrive. My hands moved with the same precision I'd used yesterday during a 6-hour spinal reconstruction. "This is going to hurt, but you need to stay still," I warned my stepmother before suturing with techniques I'd perfected during my trauma fellowship. She gripped the counter while I worked, but I knew exactly where to apply pressure to minimize pain while maintaining visibility. "How do you know how to do this?" my father asked as I finished the field sutures. "Because I'm a trauma surgeon," I said, checking my stepmother's pulse. "I've been trying to tell you for 3 years, but you all thought I was lying." The room went completely silent except for my stepmother's ragged breathing. "That's impossible. You're 28 and you can't even cook," my stepbrother said weakly. "I graduated medical school and then completed residency in 3 years because I was fast-tracked for exceptional performance," I said, maintaining pressure on the wound. "I can't cook because I spend 18 hours a day saving lives instead of practicing my julienne technique." The paramedics arrived 12 minutes later, and the lead EMT whistled when he saw my field sutures. "That's beautiful work, doc," he said, then did a double take looking at my face more closely. "Holy shot, you're the surgeon who did that impossible field surgery at the marathon last month. Brought that runner back using nothing but a pocket knife and shoelaces." I nodded while giving him the medical rundown on my stepmother. "You guys must be so proud to have her in your family," he told them while we transferred my stepmother to the gurney. Nobody answered him because they were all staring at me like they'd never seen me before.